Well, I am committed to sharing all experiences with you, even ones that don't go through the way that I would have liked them to, but that's okay. These things happen. Sometimes these things happen. Not everything goes perfectly with every experience that I have. As you know, if you've been watching this channel, all kinds of things occur. But I thought I would share a little bit of this experience. It's really short. It got cut off pretty quickly. But I also wanted to offer some tips on astral projection. As I have promised, I would be doing more and more of that for those of you who are seeking to leave your body. And every once in a while, well, many times I'll get questions about astral projection, maybe techniques. Most of you who have watched my videos on techniques and on learning to astral project know that my belief is that most of this comes from and will come from inside of you. And you are in control of that. So the only thing I can do is give suggestions here and there. But let me start with the experience, which I have to admit that in the beginning, right after the experience, I was a bit frustrated, but that's okay. It's all good. I was actually, it's interesting. I mean, let's start with the fact that this was the afternoon. This started about, I would say about 1:30, 2 o'clock or so. Right now it's about 3:53 p.m. Pacific time in Southern California. But I would say this started about 1:32 that I laid down. And it took some time. Again, as you know, most of my experiences happen in the middle of the night. And I always suggest to you that if you're going to try astral projection or any other type of experience of that sort, that you begin it in the middle of the night, because that's when your mind is most tired, and that will kind of put it out of the way so that the other part of you, the part of you that controls this, the more expanded part of you, can then initiate and take control of things, which is what you want. But today, my experience started happening in the afternoon, and I was feeling tired. You know, sometimes I'll just be working on my computer or doing something, and then suddenly I'll start feeling tired nowadays. It'll just be like, okay, I just want to rest for a little bit. And I don't even know if that may actually be a signal for me that I should go and at least attempt or try and do something. Now, intentionally this time, for those of you who have heard on some of my other episodes when I've done Beyond Body, intentionally I left any talk radio or anything off this time. I was in complete silence. As some of you know, in my last experience, I was having a difficult time having contact with another being who was trying to say something to me, and I could not hear them. I could not understand them. I was able to maintain being in that particular reality or whatever world I was in, but I was having difficulty understanding this person. This time, things were silent. And this time, again, my movement was very slight. It was small. In fact, all I really did was I came off my bed and I moved just a little bit. Now, again, and just kind of going over this again, in my Beyond Bodies, normally I move through space like crazy. I move very, very fast, but not always. There are times when I do other things, and this was a time where I simply went off the bed and I moved just slightly. And as always, the darkness lifted to reveal my surroundings. Now, in the place that I was in, it was another version of my apartment. I suppose there may be an infinite number of versions of my apartment. Some of the same things, the posters, all that stuff that I have up in my apartment were similar, but it was different. And each time there is some variation on my place when I go very, very close. When I go far out, I'll end up maybe outside someplace or in another spot. Who knows? Maybe I am perhaps in the same spot that I'm laying down in, except in another reality, it's a whole different place. Who knows? I don't know what the answer to that is, but this time I was in my apartment and I was looking around really quickly, but I was thinking to myself, I want to get to the door and I want to get out of here because I thought, yes, this is my apartment. It's dark. I wasn't able to see well. I didn't turn on the lights. There's a poster that I have on my wall that seems similar to the one I have in my present apartment, but the apartment itself seemed structured differently for some reason in my mind. And as I was heading toward the door, I reached to open the door and my cell phone rang in the 3D world, and it cut it off. It cut off my experience, and I was like, I got up and I don't know. I answered the phone, but and it was not, honestly, it was not the fault of the person that was calling me at that moment. Of course, that person had no idea what I was doing, and they had no idea that I had just like touched the doorknob, was turning the doorknob and opening the door when the phone went off, and my experience was done right then, right there. So, yeah, that was it. But other than the fact that I would advise you, if you're going to astral project, that you should turn your phone off or make it on silent so that if you're doing it, you should not be disturbed. I swear, sometimes it is some of the simplest things that are there. I mean, that's a very simple thing, to turn your phone off, to make it on silent. Other than that, one thing that I was thinking about, and this goes into the tip that I wanted to offer you about astral projection. One thing that occurred to me was my relationship with my subconscious mind. Ever since my accident and this beyond body business began, again, now I have more beyond body experiences than I have astral projection experiences, but the astral projection experiences still do come. They do come when I want them to. I've been exploring the beyond body more at this point, but the astral projection experiences still do come. Anyway, I don't want to take away the importance of dreaming, having dreams, and having a relationship with your subconscious mind, because that has been assisting me. Now, my dreams are very, very clear now. Last night I had two, and I could probably relay details to you about the dreams that I had. I dream every single night, and I dream even when I nap. I think that my relationship with my subconscious mind has been helping a lot. And I think the way that you build that relationship is through basically just talking to yourself. And I don't necessarily mean talking out loud for those of you who might feel uncomfortable with just sitting in your bed or just sitting down and talking to yourself. I think many people talk to themselves when they're alone, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm talking about when you go to sleep, or a time before you go to sleep, or even making some time in an afternoon day when you may not be working, when you have some quiet time, to take a moment and just speak in your mind. Speak to yourself in your mind. Give yourself some thoughts and some questions. Tell yourself your own desire to leave your body and explore the astral plane. Explain this. I know in the beginning it'll seem weird just kind of laying there and speaking to yourself like that, especially when you're tired. Again, being tired helps you to connect better with these things. But I'm telling you, I think, I believe, and it is just the theory that I have, that there may be some connection between my subconscious and this ability to be able to leave and do things that I do. And I have a very strong and a very deep connection with it. So this would be my suggestion to you, to do that, and that is kind of my tip for you. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on this very short journey today. I will let you know if I have any other experiences. Until next time, take care.